business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Hey, welcome to FLX Weekly here on FingerLakes1.com. It's Wednesday, December 10th, 2024. I'm Jim Seneca inside the FingerLakes1.com studios. And the It's a Wonderful Life Festival kicks off in Seneca Falls tomorrow, Thursday, and runs right through the weekend, which will see thousands of visitors flock to the town, widely believed to be the inspiration for Frank Capra's holiday classic movie, It's a Wonderful Life. And the biggest crowds will descend on Saturday. There's the parade. There's a lot going on downtown. But, of course, it's the annual It's a Wonderful Run 5K that kicks off on the Bridge Street Bridge in Seneca Falls that we'll talk to Kevin and find out, how many people are signed up and what we can expect here. But, I'll be talking to one of the founding race organizers, Kevin Korzeniewski, on what participants can expect, what town residents can expect, and how prep is coming. It's just a few days away now. But first, this episode of FLX Weekly is brought to you by Blush by CV Designs, a local women-owned business in the heart of the Finger Lakes offering women's clothing and accessories, quality home goods, and unique gifts. See what everyone is talking about by visiting their location in downtown Seneca Falls, or browse all their products online at shopcvdesigns.com. And also, the Perfect Pair Eatery, quality carry-out cuisine in Seneca Falls. Everything is made fresh with in-house smoked meats, comfort classics, desserts, and sweet treats sure to please the entire family for lunch or dinner. Also offering business lunch drop-off on Mondays and Tuesdays. Reach out at perfectpaireatery.com or call 315-712-4004 and look for the yellow door at 64 West Baird Street. We highlight both of these Seneca Falls-based sponsors for today's show because they'll both be open this weekend for the Wonderful Life Festival, and they're planning special offerings for their visitors. Good stuff to eat at Perfect Pair. Great, unique home goods and Christmas items to buy at CV Designs. So if you are in town for the festival, stop by both of those places while you're here. So welcome, Kevin Korzeniewski, one of the founding organizers of It's a Wonderful Run. It's the 16th year. So first of all, congratulations on 16 years. I remember the first year you started 16 years ago. What was 400, 500, 600 people?
Yeah, we had 440 people, I think, signed up. And we never have, every year people ask me how many signups do you have versus how many run, weather depending and things like that. We had 440 that first year, and I'd like to thank you for having us on, and especially thank you for all the support you've been with us. Finger Lakes One has been with us since the first year. Sponsoring us, making videos, and you're a big part of this as well.
It's fun to be involved because it's a fun event. It's a type of event that makes you feel good to be involved. It's something I look forward to, and I know it's a lot of work for everybody involved, but I'm sure that everybody looks forward to it too because it's just such a phenomenon that it's become. You mentioned 400 first year. How many can we expect this year?
Well, we just hit 5,200. Jeff Rook, one of the other race directors, just texted me as I sat down on the couch, and we always kind of check to see if we hit 5,150 because we're Van Halen
right.
classic rock fans. But he
better than 2112, which Rooker probably likes that number too
yes,
as a Rush fan, right?
Yeah, you're right. So we have 5,200. We just hit. We have expectancies. We have graphs that show us, through our race registration company, and this should be the biggest year we've had. I'm really hoping that we get 6,000 signups, which we've never had.
Well, sunny weather and a pleasant day, it looks like. Fingers
low wind,
crossed.
Minimal chance of rain, sun, I think a high of 38, 35 to 38. So that's really a great day for this time of year, especially the last few days have been so rainy. I think the rain ends tomorrow. So it'll be great. It should be a fantastic day to run. And whenever we have those weather spikes, the sun and warm weather, we tend to get a lot the last week of the race event.
Yeah, and so and even a lot of last day signups. People.
Yep. We've had up to as many as 200 to 300 sign up on race day. Between Friday and Saturday, our average is usually around 200 to 250. And, going through this week, we're usually 150 to 200 a day.
6,000 people is definitely in play here. And, it's almost unbelievable to think that it's come to this. And you've had crowds for this race this size before. A lot of it is based on the weather. Some of the best years have been years where it snowed a lot, but that does keep the numbers down a little bit, but the experience is different.
We lost about 1,000 people when we had the snow event.
Yeah.
So it's almost been 10 years. But anybody that ran that event will tell you it was their favorite one. I mean, they were running in 2-3 inches of snow, but it was special. But it's really hard to do the event when it's snowing like that.
Yeah, a lot harder for sure. So hopefully that's not going to be an issue this year. Definitely looks like it won't be. And for those that have never come or maybe coming from the first time, and people do come from internationally, from across the country. I think over the course of these 16 years, we've had someone from every state.
Every state has been represented. This year, I know there's, I think, 6 or 7 different countries represented. Austria. We always get a strong showing from Canada. We're not too far from Canada, but we always get, about 50 people from Canada. But it's as I was sharing you before we went on air, I've been watching the registrations come in with a lot closer eye the past week than I have per se all year. And when you see somebody sign up, family of 6 from Long Island a week before the race, it's like, you want to get in their heads. What is
you wonder what they were talking about at the dinner table like earlier this week,
Yeah, it really, and it goes back to that first year. And the one thing I love about that first year with 440 people is very intimate. And so we had a family from New Jersey. I think I've told the story before, maybe even on the show, but they came in, they all registered. And and I said to him, "You from New Jersey?" He said, "Yep, we drove up this morning, and we're going to just see this great town, and we love the movie. We're big fans of the movie, and then we want to run the village, and then we're going to take off and head back to New Jersey." And I thought to myself, that's when you realize you might have done something big.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, it's become a very important thing for Seneca Falls as a town, and people who run businesses here, and community pride for the residents. And of course, you guys organize it, and the Wonderful Life Festival Committee puts on the festival, and a lot of work goes into it. But what takes it to the next level, even more so than just the concept of it and starting on the bridge, is what the town residents do. And a lot of that is not organized. People go out, people on the race route do a little extra with their houses for Christmas lights. Some people, get right out and provide treats for runners, and some people get out and cheer runners. And other community groups do things like carol along the routes. I mean, there's just so much that people get involved in. Like right now, there's people preparing for this that aren't members of your committee, and that's kind of cool.
It is so cool. There are so many pieces that our community has jumped into and taken on their own lives. I mean, Chapel Street is a life of its own during this race. I mean, it's amazing what they have done and they continue to do. And we'll sometimes get emails saying how great it is. And then we'll get emails complaining that, people shouldn't be stopping to do this or that. We really don't have any control over this. And we're just so happy that the town has embraced us. So, we try to push the negativity away, but we've talked to people on the race course that will allow people into their houses to use the bathrooms. It's insane, it's incredible, and I can't thank this town enough. And I really believe that this whole concept of the movie and reaching out to your neighbors and doing generous things and putting others before yourself is really what's created all of this energy and excitement, towards this event.
Yeah, I mean, the themes of the movie, the fact that in my mind and most people clearly believe that Bedford Falls was based on Seneca Falls. So when people who really are fanatical about this movie, they want to come and immerse themselves in Bedford Falls. And so there's a couple things about the run that maybe some people don't even realize as they're doing it. But when you mention Chapel Street, That is the old Bailey Park. I mean, that is the part of Seneca Falls where the Italian immigrants were able to buy affordable housing and build their lives and families back in the early 1900s. And the race, of course, goes right through there. It starts on the bridge, the iconic bridge, that was the inspiration and in the movie, and then it continues through Chapel Street, which would be the former Bailey Park, and then you go by the high school, and you come down Cuga Street, which you're past the Bailey House, the house that is considered to be maybe one of the inspirations for the Bailey House in the movie, and then through downtown, which Seneca Falls used to have the divider and the median like in the movie. It doesn't anymore, but I think if you're a fan of the movie, as you travel the course, whether you're walking or running, you are kind of really immersed in the world of Bedford Falls and It's a Wonderful Life. It really is something, and so it's a combination of the movie being having such an impact on people, and then your committee and the people in town and the businesses, everybody just in the Wonderful Life Festival committee, all of that just kind of comes together and creates this unbelievable weekend. And specifically, I've always said the merriest place on earth is the half hour before the start of that race. If you're down there on the bridge with these 6,000 people, and we say that's the runners, there's other people that come just to watch. So let's say 8,000 to 10,000 people all in that area, dressed up, Christmas music playing, anticipation for the run. It's the happiest and merriest place on the planet every Christmas season. I mean, that's just my take.
I agree with you 100%. To see how kind people are and friendly, and the music's playing. You got it really kicks off everybody's holiday music or holiday season, and to see. One of my things, and I know I brought it up already, but your video, I love to get up on Sunday morning and just to see how, because I run around with like a chicken with my head cut off that whole day. And so I get up with my coffee and my wife, Jolene, who's also a founder of the race, along with Tina Rook. But Jolene and I will get up and have our coffee on Sunday. We can't wait. It's like the highlight. Like we know most of the work is done, and we can sit and then we just see. And I got to say, 9 times out of 10, you put tears in my eyes just because so many people are in just such a joyous mood. And again, I think it comes back to that theme. There are so many people that come because they love the movie, and the committee, the It's a Wonderful Life committee, does a great job of bringing characters in and show. They do shows and they have theme characters on the streets, and the town is all decked out. It's awesome. But then there's also those people that are here that have never even seen the movie.
Yeah.
Just jump right into that same joyous, giving nature, and the amount of money that people. It's not cheap to sign people up for our race. It's $35 if you're a family of 4. You're talking a lot right before the holidays, and we just appreciate that people are doing that. I mean, we're putting on an event for them, but for them to reach down and do that, knowing that a lot of this money, is going to many different causes, is really hard.
Let's talk about that, because we talk about the themes from the movie and all the great things that come from this event and how happy people are they're there. But it really, pays off the idea of charity and, Christmas spirit and giving is what happens after the race. And just talk a little bit about the impact you're able to have with local charities here in Seneca Falls and the surrounding area.
Yeah, it's probably, I'll over the next 4 or 5 days talk to a lot of people. I'll be very busy, and I'll always talk about this is my favorite part of this. I have so many favorites, part of the race. But certainly the amount of money we give out to charity, we'll have a meeting late January usually and start writing checks out. And, I think just looking at the school, I work at the school and heavily involved in the school. I think we give $15,000, $20,000 away between scholarships and athletic clubs and the music.
15 to 20,000.
Just to the school.
And that's just
to the
one
school,
part,
the different parts of the school. $5,000 to $10,000 a year to the House of Concern, and we try to touch on every local charity that reaches out to us. I think we have a list of over 70. I think last year our number was around $78,000.
Seen on the screen there.
So there's a list of a lot of people, and this year a goal of ours is to give over 80. We've never given over around 80. But if you start doing the math over the years, I mean, you're looking over at just $1 million in charitable contributions. And, that's not to mention the other favorite thing that I love is, walking into the local establishments and, you're going into Red Brick Pub, or you're going to Parker's, or you're going to the Clarence, and, there's all these people and, just the idea. Jeff and I had this conversation, Jeff's idea, I got to give him the credit because I told him he was crazy. But the whole idea was just to bring a couple hundred people to town on a dead weekend in the middle of winter, and give back to the people that had businesses, and people are pumping gas and staying in hotels and that kind of thing. And not in our wildest dreams we'd ever thought we'd have, 6,000 people sign up to come to Seneca Falls. I mean, we're doubling the population, of the town.
Yeah, it's an economic engine. It's something that can make or break a lot of businesses years coming at a time, like you mentioned, that normally it wouldn't be a busy time in December for visitation. People come to Seneca Falls all year long. I mean, they come for, the National Women's Rights Historic Park, and they come for the wineries. And but December normally wouldn't be.
No, it's not a hotbed for tourists. It really is.
But it is the biggest weekend of the year in Seneca Falls. And companies, all the other events and stuff throughout the year, this is easily the biggest. To me, the 5K is like the culmination of it. That Saturday, it's a great weekend for fans of the film to come. There's stuff to do all weekend, but it culminates to me with the parade on Saturday, early afternoon, 1 o'clock. They do the parade.
Yep.
And then from there on to the start of the race. So if you are coming for the run, I say come early in the morning. Get a good place to park, or and spend the whole day. Enjoy the parade, enjoy everything. Give yourself a chance to walk around, and then mosey down the hill to the bridge and get ready for the main event.
Yeah, you see a lot of people doing that. We're out obviously working Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I got to do stuff today. And you start to see people coming in, and it's like, geez, it's Thursday, and they're coming in because the Wonderful Life weekend puts on things starting Thursday night, cool things.
So much.
Dances in the school, and like I said, plays downtown, and
actual actors from the movie.
I mean, Carolyn Grimes, the Zuzu in the movies here is, that's pretty cool. You don't get that a lot, unless you're at a Comic-Con or things like that, where these huge events, but one small rural little town bringing in 2 or 3 of the actors that are still around from the original movie. There's a lot to do. And a lot of people have great specials. And
I'd argue you can't do it all in one weekend. There's so much. It's mind-boggling when you look at the schedule of events. It really, you do have to choose between maybe going to the bonfire and going to the dance at the school. Like, it's hard to do it all. But
do the race.
Yeah, definitely do the race. And again, walk the race. Like, people are intimidated because they aren't runners, or they aren't fitness. They aren't into fitness, and they could never run a 5K, but you can walk it. And in a lot of ways, walking is better than running it because you get to enjoy it longer. Mm-hmm. It's funny, the race starts, the winner comes across the finish line 15 minutes later. It's like, so the last person clears the start-finish line after the start of the race, probably 10 minutes. It takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we actually have
5 minutes later, there comes the winner. Like, if it got much bigger, the winner might be across before the last person even starts. That's how big it is.
Yeah, and we can't have that.
Right.
We actually, with our timing company, Leon Timing, who does a great job, they've been with us a long time now, we time it. I was just talking to the owner, Pat Leon, the other day about the refresh time and how long certain long people are on the bridge for a certain amount of time, how many people are on the bridge, that kind of thing. And we have to have that cleared by the time that first person finishes the race, which has been 14 minutes,
It's amazingly, it's close.
And it takes us about 11 minutes to clear the bridge, So we're close, And every year that we grow a little bit bigger is another test run on how close we can get.
And it is cool, too, because some people do run it competitively. So you get that aspect of it. It's a small number. I think, everybody that runs 5Ks wants to hit their personal best in time. This might not be the race for your average runner to go for their personal best because there's so many distractions and it's going to be crowded getting over the bridge. But your time starts when you cross the start line, so you don't have to worry about that. But you like to see the more competitive runners up front, and if you're not really worried about your time and you want to have fun, stay back.
Yeah, you're right. You said it. You hit the nail on the head. Your time won't start till you cross the bridge. We have a 90-degree right turn pretty quick into the race. So it bottlenecks everybody. But again, when we did this route and when Jeff did the route, we didn't think we'd have 5,000 people run.
Yeah.
So we weren't concerned about some of those things. But the route is important to people. Starting on the bridge is important to people. And again, you're correct. And if we have 5,000 people show up to this event Friday or Saturday, I would say 1,000 to 2,000 are running it competitively. And when I say competitively, it's not so much trying to beat somebody else, but beat their own time.
Right.
And it is a great race course.
Yeah, and
it's
you
a fast course because you lose elevation and you finish coming down a hill. And there you see everybody going down the hill to start. But it is a great course for it. But why it's not great is because there's just so many people. So, if you're a walker or if you don't care, you really should be down in the rec center parking lot. Maybe by Stever's garage, just taking your time to get.
Look at this right there. You got people going over the bridge, but way back, but there's still, it's packed.
It is packed. I mean, it goes
everybody has to
ever.
clear that bridge, but it's so cool, and it seems to never end as you're standing there, watching it.
You're always on the bridge up there, and it just keeps going. I mean, 10 minutes is a long time, and it's just constant flow of people, and another one of my favorite things is when the first 1,000 get across to the bridge on Rumsey Street.
Yeah.
And then both bridges are full of people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from Rumsey Street to Bridge Street, there's just people. So those people tell us when they get to the bridge, they love turning back and seeing people still on the bridge. But when both bridges are full, it's phenomenal to see. It's like really puts in perspective how many people are in this event. And, so if you're a fast runner, get yourself up there on the bridge. A lot of people are up there taking pictures, doing things for, up until about 10 minutes before the race. You got plenty of time.
I say show up early. If you want your pictures and stuff by the bridge, show up 45 minutes to an hour early, and it won't be crowded. There'll be people up there, but you'll have plenty of room to do that. And then as you prepare in that final 10 to 15 minutes before the race, kind of work your way back and just enjoy it.
Yeah, we have bagpipers that go on the bridge about 4:20 to 4:30. That 4:40 time is very unique. We started this race at 4:30 to do dusk, but it was just a little bit too early. So after 1 year, we moved it back to 4:40. So the race will start right at 4:40, as long as all our volunteers and the great SFPD who helps us so much during this event gives us the okay to start. We will start right at 4:40. So, like I said, you get up there about 4:25, 4:30. If you're one of those, we got a lot of kids up there that think they're going to win the race, and it always makes me a little nervous. But if you're a contender, get up on that bridge. If you're not, you're just there for the fun or your personal best. Try to.
Zuzu will be there again to start.
Yep.
That's the other unique thing that we didn't even talk about. But Zuzu actually starts a race with her iconic, phrase from the movie. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. And when she says wings, the race starts. She's right up there at the start line with everybody. I mean, it's like, how did this all happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it. I get goosebumps when I'm up there every year. But just by you talking about that with Carolyn Grimes and Zuzu, we start on wings, and that's unique. That's pretty cool.
So still time to sign up. It's a wonderful run 5k.com for more information. And if you are running in the race, we used to do these videos, Korzy, where it was more informational for the runners. Nowadays, I think everybody that's done it before obviously knows the drill, but if you don't and you have questions about like where to park when I come to Seneca Falls, what do I do after the race, when do I register, all this stuff, every runner that's entered should be getting an extensive email in the next day or two, right?
That's right. Thank you. So Tina Rook will send out an email, probably tomorrow. And
give yourself about an hour and a half to read it.
Yep, it'll be 10 to 20 paragraphs long. Some people really look forward to it. We ask that everybody read it. Take the time to read it because there's a lot of important information. It's long. But she's a great writer, and she's got a lot of sarcasm and quick witted stuff in there. But
it's important.
It's important stuff. Where to park is important. Don't park on the race course. 2 or 3 cars on the race course can really slow things down a lot.
Shuttles.
Yep, where the shuttles are. We got shuttles from the high school again. All the logistics to get you, what time to pick up packets. If you want to pick up packets Friday night, we do allow you to pick up packets for your friends and family. So we've had people walk out with, 10 race shirts and 10 bibs. So all that stuff, expect to see from Tina in the next 24 to 36 hours. And she's very good about making Facebook posts as well. We got a strong following on Facebook, and she'll be, up through the weekend, any things that come up, she'll be posting and alerting people on. So, check your emails and follow our Facebook Facebook page to see our posts throughout the weekend.
What's the shirt color this year?
Not allowed to say. So,
we gotta wait.
As much
and
as
see.
I love
Do you
Tina
like
and
it?
I praising her right now, at some point I would probably be stricken down on my way out of here back to school.
Are you happy with the shirts this year?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I don't love them, but the
Well,
rest of the race committee does. And this is
okay.
what happens. I mean, this is a thing, 16 years of picking shirts, and I work in the middle school primarily, and the kids are asking me every day, and I got this one girl, she's so funny, and I've actually told her the color of the race's shirts, but I've told her so many non-color race shirts that she has no idea what the race shirt is. But this is a common question we get. We do hold it out till Friday. We'll put a picture out Friday on Facebook, and it used to be our kids would wear them to school, and that's kind of how everybody found out. And there's only one of them left. So out of the 6 kids,
she's a
Chelsea's
senior.
a senior. Yeah, she's the last one, so she'll have her shirt.
That's
on.
funny. My daughter is a freshman at James Madison, and she's coming home Friday for Christmas, which we're excited about, obviously. But she's bringing 3 of her friends from school for the race. They're going to spend a couple nights with us, and one from Saratoga, one from New Jersey, one from Pennsylvania, and they all go to James Madison.
That's great.
And
That is great.
And so that's just my daughter. There's tons of people that do.
And the one thing I've noticed, and if your kids are in school, you'll understand what I'm saying this year, but usually the kids aren't home yet.
Right.
It'll be December 6th, the races, December 8th. But with the way that the school calendar lined up, a lot of college kids will be home for the first time in a while, and they'll be bringing some friends. So that's pretty unique. I've seen that through registration. I can see that
awesome.
in the data, which is pretty cool.
Well, I think, given the weather forecast and given the signups that you have already, that we are going to touch 6,000 this year. I think it's going to be the biggest one.
I agree.
I think it's going to be the biggest one.
I
So you want to be a part of that.
I think it's going to be our biggest sign up and our most amount of finishers. And it's hard to gauge the finishers because
Sure,
for
some
many
people
reasons.
stop at downtown just
Some
like
people just jump in.
which is
They don't want to
fine,
pay
right?
the $35, and then
Oh, well, yeah.
and then some people will stop at a friend's house and not make it away from there, or they'll stop at downtown. I always joke that the Red Brick Pub is busier than the community center
At the
after
end.
the race.
Yeah, it is.
And I've done the race a couple times, and I remember, I think it was last year, or the year before, I turned the corner and there's a line coming out. And I was probably in the top couple, maybe 500, and there's already a line coming out of the pubs, and I remember AJ Daly was dressed as Santa Claus, I think,
Yep.
handing out maybe Bud Lights or something. I don't remember what it was, but it's
the
just
Gold
so cool
Hotel's
to see those
overflowing,
things.
Red Brick Pub, Parker's, all the local establishments.
There's a ton of porta potties. We ordered more porta potties than ever this year.
all down by
so
the community center.
We're going to have some on the course this year, so
Oh, wow.
less people ask people to use their homes. But yeah, we'll have some up on the course. And if you're in town and you're at a facility that seems packed, all the Parker's, all these places are gonna be packed. Literally, the brewery, the Fall Street Brewery's got new space downtown.
Yeah,
these places are
that's
gonna be
right.
packed.
I can't wait to see the reception for Brad and Fall
Yeah,
Street.
for Brad and Anna down there.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great place. I've probably been there about 10 times already. They do a great job down there. But if you're stuck and you're in a line, take the walk down to the community center, use our porta potties, because it'll happen a lot faster than, some of these places have 1-2 bathrooms, and all of a sudden they're at this huge capacity they've never been at. So we're putting some downtown. We're putting some throughout the race course this year. That's the first time we've never put any on the course.
All right, something new for this year.
There'll be
Porta
some up by
potties on the
school.
course.
Yeah, yep, by the water station. The baseball team, they've been with us since the beginning. They Charlie Foster and his guys do water every year, so that'll be up at the school. The school lights up the field, so we got a lot of light up there. That's where the shuttle is. We keep the lights on for when we run the shuttle. So if you really don't know where to park, you can park at the school. It's probably about a 10-minute walk to town, maybe 7 minutes. But you can take a school bus shuttle down there too. And so there's too much to talk about. Really.
Yeah,
That's why you got to read Tina's email.
Yep, Tina's email will be coming to your inbox soon. It's a Wonderful Run 5K to sign up and get some more information, or to get pumped up. Watch the video from last year. Watch the video from the snow year. Scenes like this from our beautiful town of Seneca Falls, really showing out every year for the It's a Wonderful Life Festival. Kevin, thanks to you and your whole team for just making one of the most phenomenal events on the planet, honestly. You really got to see it to believe it. So hopefully we will see you in Seneca Falls this weekend and on top of the bridge for the Wonderful Run 5K on Saturday. So it should be a great weekend in Seneca Falls. And thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the show, click like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back next week. It'll be an early edition of Wine Wednesday with Catherine Chase from the Cuba Lake Wine Trail on December 18th. Until then, there's just 13 shopping days left till Christmas. So have a wonderful weekend here in the Finger Lakes.